Hey there. Skyrim updates tend to be a very, controversial. When they get deployed, they often break people's mods in exchange for like some inane change that no one really asked for. So you might imagine the shock on my face when I see that Skyrim has a new post in the community tab. They haven't done that in 3 years, and usually when they post on there, it's for an update. So yeah, I was a little worried, but to my surprise, it was just a promotion for a bunch of creations? Now, I know what you're saying.
But Byxx-chan, that's not an update.
Shut the fuck up!
But
leave my house! Leave! Yes, I know this technically isn't an update. Actually, it isn't an update at all, but I missed the bandwagon when the Creation Club originally released. So this feels like a perfect opportunity to, you know, take a bit more of an unbiased perspective on it all. So what even was this post? Well, it was pretty much just a promotion for a bunch of high quality creations. But I beg the question, are they actually worth it? I mean, if these specific creations are getting huge promotions from Bethesda just kind of out of the blue, then they've at least got to be worth it, right? Okay, enough dilly-dallying. Let's get to it. So the first mod we'll be covering is Laylana. On the road leading to Whiterun, just outside of Riverwood, you can bump into this mysterious hooded figure. I think that might be Feindor. They'll speak to you for a little bit, reveal themselves, and mention that they are in need of a protector as she's decided to explore Skyrim. She can do this under one condition set by her father, that is that she needs a, well, protector. Obviously, you'll say that you'll help her in this endeavor, and boom, just like that, you've got yourself a fully voiced and extremely overpowered follower. And that's really all there is to it. I can get into the weeds about who this character is, her story and everything, but you know, she's a bit par for the course. She is just a really high quality voiced companion. So yeah, I'm not really gonna cover the story because I'm more intrigued about the fact that it costs money. Okay, so here's my big hot take. I think the Creation Club is actually pretty good. But let me expand upon that. I think the Creation Club is good in concept. The idea of monetizing mods, something that is highly controversial and not really done, is in my opinion, actually not that bad of an idea. Being able to financially support a mod creator is awesome because by doing this, you can help them make even more mods with higher quality and bigger teams. It sounds like a net positive. In practice though, it's a bit different. Bethesda's decision and handling of the whole Creation Club, it's just not good. The implementation of it has forced updates that has broken people's mods that they already have had for years. Some of the creations on the store have the most egregious pricing, and it's led to a majority, if not almost everyone in the kind of modding community that just disavow ever using it. So yeah, I can understand the stigma of why people don't like monetized mods. However, in the ashes of the destruction wrought by the Creation Club, rises creations like these. Laylana is a particularly good creation. It sets out to achieve one thing, a really well thought out character, and does so spectacularly. I mean, this is a fantastic companion. And at the price of 400 Bethesda bucks, or whatever the fuck they call them, Creation Club credits? It's a bit of a bad name. Maybe they should have called them creation points. Actually, maybe no. So yeah, at the price of 400 credits, it's actually not worth it. I hate to say this because I truly do believe that this is a fantastic creation, but it has to compete with the likes of other mods like Inigo, Lucian, hell, even the Serana dialogue overhaul. So yeah, it's kind of hard to justify buying Laylana when you can get a number of mods that are of equal quality for the infinitely cheaper price of nothing. This is another major problem that the Creation Club faces. The fact that Skyrim's modding community has existed for years, hell, for as long as the game has existed, means that they are entering into a market that has already been well established and well loved. And no one wants to suddenly pay more money for less mods of varying quality, when they can get the exact same or better things for absolutely free. Okay, enough rambling. What about Laylana? Is the creation worth it? Yeah, actually, it is. Despite the fact that it does cost money, it's not that much. And to my knowledge, most of it does actually go to the creation creator.
Hey, so editing Byxx here. Actually, I don't think that's true. From all I could read online, it looks like it's maybe 30 to like 25%, which is kind of ass.
Also, I've noticed I keep mentioning the Creation Club. This is just like a bit of a slip of the tongue, really. The Creation Club doesn't exist anymore. It's been defunct for like 2 years now. I'm mostly just confounding the creation system with the Creation Club. So I stand by all my points still. You know, I'm just kind of slipping on my words here a little bit. So I'm sorry about that. Anyways, back to the video. So yeah, if you want to have a unique and intriguing character to accompany you on your adventures through Skyrim, check it out. Okay, next up is Coven of Crones. Have you guys ever been here before? This is Anissa's cabin, and for most people, it's just a fun little encounter with a witch. But this creation greatly overhauls that experience. Once you explore Anissa's cabin, you can exit and confront Anissa herself and kill her. Now that's usually where the interaction ends, and to be honest, I think that's pretty good. It's just a little thing that happens in the world, alright? However, with this creation, you'll instead be confronted by Anissa again, but as a hag, who cusses you out and tells you to fuck off and leave. What if I didn't do that? So you head into a basement, find a whole new added area, and by searching around for some clues, you can open up a portal to the Blighted Marsh. From here, you do some simple linear exploring in this really cool location, learn about Anisse and her coven's wicked scheme, then fight through a swarm of bog spawn before Anisse casts a fucking spirit bomb, knocking you out and disappearing. You'll eventually wake up, and here is where the creation really opens up. From this point onwards, you are able to freely explore the new Solstheim-sized island and continue its story. Now, I'm not going to do a full analysis of the story of this creation, because that's not really what I'm exactly evaluating, but I will say I did play through the entire expansion, and I gotta say, it's really good. The landscape is unique, the story is engaging, and the boss fights are genuinely well thought out. And along with a number of new items, quests, and secrets to uncover, this really is a DLC-sized expansion. Is it on the same scale as, say, the Dragonborn DLC? No. But it definitely feels like a fully realized project. And again, without going deep into the story, that's really all I have to say about it. It's a really fun and unobtrusive experience that I don't see a reason not to recommend. Also, it's only 500 credits, which is about $5 US or $7.50 Australian, wow. But it's still fairly worth it. So yeah, that's it. Okay, it's not. So spoilers for this next bit because, well, it's a spoiler. One of the secret bosses you can face is this rad as fuck bone dragon, which is actually hard to kill, unlike a certain other bone dragon we know. When you kill him, you can take his skull and use it at this altar at the end of the story to get a really cool rideable dragon skeleton horse thing. However, that's not what happened for me. Instead, when I interacted with the altar, nothing happened. It softlocked itself. I tried a ton of different solutions to try to get it to work, and nothing did. I eventually had to resort to using the console to give me the spell to summon them out. Now, if this was just a mod I got off Nexus, I mean, it'd be annoying, but it's not something I'd really concern myself over. You know, you kind of take the jank with it. But the fact that this cost me money, and considering that I'm not the only person who had this issue, this is pretty bad. And it's stuff like this that is a part of the reasons why creations aren't really liked by people. So yeah, outside of that absolute nightmare, I'd say this is a fantastic creation, and I actually cannot recommend it enough. Hopefully we don't bump into any more of that shit. So a bit ago, I made a video going over every major faction in Skyrim, and one of the ones that I found the most disappointing had to be the Bards College. So imagine my face when I saw that one of the featured creations on this list was one called the Bards College expansion. So let's give it a shot. Now the Bards College starts out the same way as it does in the base game, the same quest to do the burning of King Olaf festival, but you'll be accompanied through this by Laylana, another bard in training. And after that quest, she'll tell us to talk to this person, Master Sledric, who offers to teach us in the way of the voice. He'll send us on a small expedition to the local tavern where we mingle with a group of other bards, as well as get equipped with new gear. Snazzy. In the bar, you're tasked with assisting Laylana with her own tasks, but are interrupted by a separate bard named Laylana, who challenges you to a battle of the wits. This is a really cool minigame and is a part of the large number of new bardic mechanics that have been added through this creation. You fight in a bardic duel, help Laylana in her task, and return to Sledric, where he takes you to his sanctuary. What the fuck is this place? Now, I had to break it to you, I didn't play through the entirety of the main story of this expansion. It's really just because it's not my cup of tea. I'm just kind of sick of all the Dragonborn stuff. With that said, it has a whole new skill tree, bardic inspirations, a whole bunch of new cool quests that I didn't completely finish, but from what I could gather, it's a pretty damn good story. It's like a, I don't know, like a 6 or 7 out of 10. And with that aside, this creation is not done. You see, this is an expansion upon the entirety of the Bards College, meaning that there are quite a few other things we can do. During this questline, you'll be sent to speak to 3 teachers. Haras, a bardic duelist who builds upon the Duel of Wit mechanic you did in the tavern earlier, Valerian, who teaches you all about the world of being an emissary, and Orvis, who teaches you how to actually play an instrument. You can write your own ballads, play in taverns for money, and even play as a support bard class in combat. This is literally amazing. This is everything I'd ever wanted from an expansion upon the Bards College, and it's done so well. This creation is immaculate. It's full of content that is sure to scratch the itch of any player that felt, you know, a bit betrayed by the Bards College in the base game. And even at a 1,000 credit asking price, geez, I really think you should try. It's pretty good. Now, Truth in Legends is our next creation that I have some really serious and major gripes with. I'll get into it later, you'll see. This creation adds a whole new set of Thor Nordic-themed armor, a weapon, Mjolnir, and abilities tied to said armor, along with a pretty cool new location, Muganda Mine, where you embark on a long and inventive new dungeon with new and interesting mechanics. Now, there isn't much for me to say here. The items in the dungeon are very self-explanatory. The armor set and the powers that come with it are actually really cool and completely change how you play the game. The main weapon, Mjolnir, actually works like how you think it was. You can throw it, you can use it for mobility. It's pretty cool. The dungeon itself is a Nordic ruin dungeon. I know we don't have enough of those in Skyrim, but it actually adds a twist to it with a number of unique mechanics and puzzles, except for the lightning bolt mechanic. That's fucking stupid. That sucks. And yeah, it really makes the whole experience a lot more fun, is what I would say, if it worked. I encountered a large number of issues with this creation, many of which locked me out of continuing it, and some actually straight up breaking the game. One of the puzzles in this quest is this conduit lightning fella, where you'll need to use a shield you found earlier in the dungeon to redirect their light beam attack back into them and killing them. The only issue with this is that they appear as an enemy on the compass, meaning that most players who have the, instincts of Skyrim are gonna run up to it and start attacking it. Now, the conduit doesn't fight back and you're like, oh, okay, I guess this thing isn't gonna kill me then. But if you damage it with anything other than the beam of light, it can no longer be killed with the beam of light, making the dungeon impossible to complete and soft locking you out of continuing. Luckily, a quick reload fixes this and you can continue forward. But later on in the dungeon, in the final chamber, you'll encounter a similar light puzzle where you have to connect 3 sets of certain pillars in a specific order to summon the boss. Now, here's the issue. For some reason, once you complete the 3rd set of pillars, it deactivates the 1st set and completely locks you out of summoning the boss. I'm baffled at this point. I mean, this has happened to me twice in the same dungeon now. Like, there is no way that this got through any sort of higher testing. The worst part is, you can't even reload the save to fix this like last time. It actually is just completely broken, and if you do it any other way, it doesn't work. So the only way I was able to continue was to no-clip through the ground and pull a dev lever to summon the boss. I mean, that's actually shocking. Anyways, the arena opens up, the boss spawns, and if you interact with him, it freezes you. No jokes. Interacting with the boss here completely breaks the game. Without the use of the console, you are stuck here forever and you can't do anything. I think it's supposed to play a cutscene, but it's just completely fucking broken and it just screws you over. Now, I thought this was just an issue with my own game, but it wasn't. In fact, the only reason I knew how to fix any of these issues was because people on Reddit had already figured out how to fix it from having the same issues. I actually cannot believe something so broken is being sold in the Creation Club, and the fact that it is receiving a major promotion from Bethesda genuinely makes me feel like I'm going crazy. I paid 600 credits for this. That's like almost 10 Australian dollars. Like $6 US. It doesn't matter. Once again, if this mod was free, I'd be so fine with it being this way. I'd be fucking annoyed, but the fact that I needed to fork over money for a broken creation that breaks my game it's mind-boggling. So yeah, whatever you do, stay far away from this thing as possible. I mean, I don't think you need me to say that. Do you ever feel like being a vampire in Skyrim kind of means nothing? Okay, I know there is Dawnguard, but outside of that, in base Skyrim, vampires feel like a highly overlooked part of the game. Luckily, Blood and Snow is a creation that greatly expands on the base Skyrim vampire experience. Once you become a vampire, the next time you sleep, you will enter a nightmare, which is a type of puzzle room. I've never seen something like this in the base game, so it's really a breath of fresh air. And by using context clues from around the room, you'll eventually figure out how to leave the room. You'll wake up in a random location, and you can go back to sleep to go through another nightmare. You do this one more time after this for a total of 3, then you'll wake up in front of a group of vampires. They'll speak at you for a bit before a rival gang appears and they bicker. Once they're done arguing, they provide you with a choice. Either join the first clan that did all the nightmares, the Krongvanger, or the Dwemer group, the Quora. Now, this creation is actually entirely story-based, and I like it a lot. The whole story is based around this power struggle between these 2 rival vampire clans, and the choice of joining either faction actually has huge impacts on the story and work completely differently. And they're both really engaging. I really like this. Taking parts of Skyrim that fans desperately wanted to see overhaul and added upon is something that's always going to be good, and these guys do it spectacularly. Now, I'm not going to talk through the whole story because I think that you should just straight up experience it yourself. The stories are really fun and engaging and unlike anything else in Skyrim. So yeah, despite the fact this costs another 1,000 credits, this gets a very big thumbs up from me and a huge recommendation. Okay, now this is the last expansion mentioned in the promotion, and it's alright. Echoes of the Vale is a creation that greatly builds upon the admittedly empty Vale area from the Dawnguard DLC, adding a new way to enter the Vale without having to do the DLC questline, a ton of new locations, enemies, and even a player home. And that's kinda it. I'm not gonna go through and analyze every single dungeon to see if they're good. That's a bit much. And I'm not saying it's bad. In fact, it's actually pretty good creation, but there's not much for me to say here. It's an in-depth expansion upon the empty Vale area, and if you want to add to the atmosphere of it, you can, at the price of 800 credits. Now, I'm all for paying creators for their work, but this is a bit egregious, and I am certain it's no fault of the creator. It's almost certainly Bethesda. I mean, this pricing is like it's just insane. But yeah, if you like the sound of this creation, I mean, go give it a whirl. So that's it. Were the creations actually worth it? Except for one despicably broken one? I'd say a resounding yes. These creations are fun, worthwhile experiences that don't interrupt the base experience of the game. And even though the pricing is a bit all over the place, $6 to $10 US each, it's not really that hefty of a price to pay. But take a look at this. This is the combined credit cost of all of these creations. Want to take a guess at how much this is in real life money? 70 Australian dollars, or about 47 US dollars. That is more than Skyrim Special Edition, and only a bit short of the Anniversary Edition. You see, this is the biggest and worst issue that the Creation Club faces. The whole paid mod thing individually is fine, right? The cost isn't that much. I'm fine to fork over a few dollars for a pretty cool expansion, but it adds up over time to be a ton of money. Are you trying to tell me that these 6 creations are worth more than the entire game it's based on, plus the DLCs? That's insanity. And for me, along with all the other reasons I stated, that's enough for me to completely steer away from ever using the Creation Club. So yeah, I know it's a bit of a somber note to lead on, but I mean, everyone knows the Creation Club sucks. I wish it didn't. I wish it was so much better, but But yeah, that's about it. Like, sub, do all that stuff. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much for doing that, by the way. That really means a lot.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Fucking kill yourself.